So, hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Turn 5 podcast, where it's going to be a pretty quick one, to be honest, because not much has happened. So we're just going to be previewing Spain and talking about a a slight rule change to the super license.
You'll have a hard time beating my speedrun episode. 8 minutes, mate.
But that was just you. Like, we actually need to have discussions. There's multiple people here.
Yeah. Also, Le Mans was on this weekend, just saying.
Yeah, it's very important.
So, super license. The FIA have made a change to the International Sporting Code that basically says that 17-year-olds can now get a super license at the FIA's sole discretion, and they don't need to have a valid driver's license. Basically, the Max Verstappen clause has now been removed. Or, well, not removed, but lessened slightly.
I wonder why they're doing that. Who's been whispering in the ears of the FIA? So, how many weeks until Kimi Antonelli's going to be announced?
Well, apparently, there was people saying he could take the seat this weekend.
Okay, but like whenever you see that on like a news article, it's the most clickbaity headline. Oh my god, driver swap, and it's just for FP1. So like he could well take FP1 this weekend because it's Spain and the teams know Spain inside out. Like we've got Ollie Behrman coming in for Haas this weekend. They know Spain, so they're quite happy to let the drivers test at Spain. So, I mean, we could see Kimi Antonelli at FP1, but I haven't heard anything about that. And Haas have already announced their intentions to launch Behrman into the seat, so...
Have Merck done any of their young driver tests this season?
Not that I'm aware of.
I don't think anyone has.
So, no.
Does anyone
so it's probably a perfect opportunity.
Yeah, because
does
Alpine,
Ferrari count
one of them?
with...
Alpine have, because they used Jack Doohan in Canada.
They get used again this weekend.
I know it counts, even though he only did one lap and an installation lap. So, but it still counts.
Does that mean does Behrman count for Ferrari then? Because he done FP3.
No, because it's an FP1 session that it's for.
And he was also entered
the
as the driver. He then participated in qualifying and the Grand Prix. Big difference.
Yeah. Just a slight alteration there.
So yeah, basically the Max Verstappen clause has been loosened. Previously, you could get your super license, I believe, at any age as long as you had enough points. Now you need to be 17. At the FIA's sole discretion, or 18 at any point.
I think it's fine that they've removed the driver's license requirement as well, because what does driving on the road have to do with driving on a racetrack, you know? They're two very different sets of machines.
Exactly. And very different sets of rules as well.
Yeah. You don't get a 5-second time penalty for making accidental contact and spearing someone off the road.
No, you tend to have a very stern talking to from the police.
And, like, points and a fine and maybe a jail sentence.
Well, the drivers are used to receiving penalty points on their license.
This is true.
At random increments.
And it also is a ban at 12.
Apart
from these ones take 2 years to come off, not one.
Not one, yeah. And the lights mean the same thing as the flags, so
the cars actually have lights on them.
That too, yeah. I was more thinking like traffic lights rather than But so yeah, as we say, it's totally different. Anyway, Spain. It's Spain.
It's the penultimate race
What
at
else can
the
we say?
Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya.
Yeah, that's part of me is going to miss it
It's a staple.
because
Yes.
we're going to another street circuit.
Yeah,
That's
I'd rather go to Barcelona than another shit new street circuit.
And I hope now that if Barcelona is to leave the calendar for good, because there is still talk of it coming back, I believe, that we get it back for testing.
Yeah, true. Testing
just
venue
to keep it
hasn't
in
been
some
announced
way.
yet, while the calendar has. No testing venue has been confirmed yet. So we
So
could still
if
go to Barcelona.
If we're not going to Barcelona at all in the future, then give us it back for testing. Because, to be honest, it's a good testing circuit.
Yeah, it's just
It's
sometimes
got
a bit
very
cold,
good characteristics, yeah.
Because obviously they're testing like late February. It's not very warm at that time of year,
Hmm.
which Bahrain kind of had going for it.
Yeah, Bahrain also had sandstorms. So.
This is true.
Rude.
Anyway, I'm just going to ignore that from Ben.
Whenever there's a weather alert,
Yeah,
you just hear the siren
just
go off,
fucking-
and it just goes, and that's the sandstorm warning.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm glad that we still don't have that chicane. Thank God they removed that. That very much helped last year.
Long may it continue.
Well, we say long.
It's back for 2024.
So yeah, let's may as well just get straight down to predictions because I don't. How do you preview Spain? It's a track that we all know and love, all know and tolerate.
Yeah, there you go. You can't say "oh no" and love and slate it for the past 2 years.
And we didn't slag it off last
Get
year.
it off the calendar.
There was one time.
Street circuit.
There was one time where
Spain.
it was okay. Okay.
Yeah,
we slagged it off the first year. Last year was okay. This year we're just kind of praying for the same.
Well, it's been 2 years on the trot. It's been all right.
Well, that's true.
So,
well, that means it was our first year though. It was just dog awful.
yeah, that was the old. Actually, no, because that was the Verstappen Lewis, wasn't it? That was still all right.
True. But apart from that, it was an ass race. Like the only good thing about it was the strategy. It wasn't a good race.
Yeah,
but at least there was a fight.
Make a good race
Of some kind.
Yeah.
It's not really, if we actually look at it, it's not pulled out a massive stinker. They've all been okay.
The F2's banging around there.
To be fair, the F2's banging every circuit though.
Yeah, but like, what was it? Somebody won from like 18th on the grid.
Yeah, but they to do that at Monaco as well.
Okay,
like,
that was 15th, and two, that was a very, very luckily timed VSC. So, I mean, I know you make your own luck, but he literally did the whole race and then pitted on the last lap.
That was all part of the plan.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, predictions. Ben, pole position, please.
Verstappen.
Richard.
Verstappen.
I've now backed up Spain for the past 5 minutes, and we're all about to say Verstappen to be on pole and win.
Yeah, it's okay. I have a saving grace.
I really don't want to say Verstappen, but I've got no other choice. So yeah. Podium, please, Richard, and please don't say Verstappen to win the race.
Whoa.
What?
We've got Nia's
here too.
And Sonia's predictions today. Nia said
usually
Verstappen.
We just do Sonia's as one big bit.
Yeah, that's when I forget to do it because you gloss over it. Nia says Verstappen. Sonia
what a surprise.
says Norris.
Oh.
And I kind of forgot to put my announcement out, so I'm still going to wait on Hallie, but she's currently probably still asleep.
Understandable.
because she's in Australia.
Very much understandable then.
So I will add those to my list and we'll cover them next week when I get them in. Right. Podium. I know you said don't say it, but I'm gonna say it. Verstappen, Leclerc, Norris.
Ben.
Verstappen, Norris, Hamilton.
I'm gonna go Verstappen.
Motherfucker.
Hamilton,
says don't say
Norris.
Verstappen to win the race and then does.
Yeah, I know.
Verstappen, what? What was the rest of it?
Hamilton, Norris.
Hamilton, Norris.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Nia also went Verstappen, Leclerc, Norris, same as me. Sonia swapped the last 2 rounds, so she's got Verstappen, Norris, Leclerc. Which is fair enough.
And what did Sonia say?
Verstappen, Norris, Leclerc.
Ah, so I thought you said Nia said that.
No, Nia said the same as
for a
me.
moment. Okay.
Verstappen,
cool.
Norris, Leclerc. Is that right?
Sonia said Verstappen, Norris, Leclerc. Me and Nia have said Verstappen, Leclerc, Norris.
Right.
Cool.
Okay.
Bold prediction, please, Ben.
Perez to put it in the gravel trap in qualifying.
Okay. For a bonus point, which qualifying session?
Q2.
Okay. Richard?
Sticking to a similar theme. Perez third Q1 exit in a row.
I thought I was going to be edgy and do that for my Perez position prediction. But you beat me to it. I'm going to go with...
The faith has fully gone.
Yep. We're back.
Perez, 0 points.
Well,
wait, fact check that. What did he get last weekend?
Yeah.
And what did he get the weekend
0
before?
points. 0 points, I feel.
Can't be having that. He's on a streak.
He got 0 points in Canada because he crashed out.
Oh yeah, it's true.
I can't give him negative points.
No, but you can be more imaginative than what he managed to achieve at the last 2 races.
He's not going to get points at Monaco when he's qualified like 80. He crashed out, didn't he? Because he did.
Lap 1.
Yeah, he got speared by the Hasses, actually.
Imola. Where'd he finish? P8. He's got 4 points. He's on 1 point per race.
Do we want to make a more bold prediction of he actually has a clean race for once?
Yeah, okay. Perez points.
Perez points.
Perez to have more
Perez
than
points.
1 point in the race.
It has to be plural. Plural
Yeah,
points.
It's got to be more than 1. He's on a net average of 1 per race, so
1 1/3.
But the past 4 races anyway. Not all together.
Right. Speaking of, but should we just go? Nia said bad Merc weekend, so we've interpreted that as pointless Mercedes weekend.
Them crashing into each other again.
See, and sticking with the Perez thing, should we do the Perez position predictor now?
Sounds good. I'm going to go with qualifying P18.
You bastard, that's what I put.
Race P9. Because that's points. That's
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
Ben?
I'm going P12 in qualifying. And then he can recover to P8.
This is where he's going to pull a wild one and stick it on pole. Somehow we're all just going to be sitting here like,
God damn it.
what?
So I said
he doubted us.
Yeah, it's when we've all given up that he comes back.
Yeah.
I said he'd qualify P18, but I think he'll only get to P12 in the race.
And what's
Nia has slightly more faith than the rest of us. Nia has said he will qualify 7th and finish 5th.
Oh, how nice of Nia.
So I think there's still a hope that he's like sort of he'll probably right. Given this is my like meta prediction, given everyone else's prediction, right? He's going to qualify somewhere around 14th, 15th, and then he'll finish 10th because Nia hasn't given up on him fully.
Yeah, exactly.
He'd get pole and win the race if Nia had joined us in giving up.
Oh no! If Nia had given us, had joined us and given up, he would do the Grand Slam.
Yes,
like perfect weekend. P1 every session.
Perez could race for another 1,000 years. He would never get a Grand Slam.
P1 every session. Pole.
Currently, Perez
lap,
would be lucky to
lap.
finish every session. Let alone become first in everyone.
Oh my god. I mean, you're not wrong. I can't lie. Lapdown Showdown. Oh, I didn't even play the jingle this week for Paris. Damn it. Oh well. Lapdown Showdown.
Lapdown Showdown.
There's 66 laps of the circuit to Barcelona, Catalonia.
What's so funny about 66 laps, Chris?
As much as I want him to finish in the points.
You're going to put Perez.
Perez.
He's covering all bases. He's hedged his bets. What lap?
45. 1 lap down.
If that happens. Oh my god.
Ben?
Show. One lap down, lap 31.
Did you just do that just to spite Nia? Because that's exactly what Nia said. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to say...
can I say 2 laps instead of 1? Just to spite her a bit more.
Yeah, go on then.
Oh, if you were going to spite Nia, you would go for
25 and 2.
Reliable.
No,
yeah.
Because then if it's 31 and 2 laps, then she'd be extremely pissed off.
That's true. That's
valid.
True.
I'm going to say... Esteban Ocon on lap 38, and he'll finish 1 lap down.
What did Nia put? We know the lap and how many laps, but what driver?
Joe. So
Fair.
Ben has literally gone carbon copy, but added a lap.
Yeah. That's going to be a...
I've done copy my own work, but don't make it the copy is.
Change it slightly so it's not obvious. Cool.
Le Mans. It's time for
That's us for this week.
No, it's not. It's time for Le Mans.
No, we don't.
Because I actually watched it this year. You don't
Pinnacle of racing in France.
You don't have any idea how... Alright, so I work night shifts Saturday night. So I bought the pass to watch the Le Mans coverage because I thought
I know what's about to happen.
I can listen to it overnight. It'll be brilliant. Keep myself entertained. A couple of hours into the shift, some Robert Kubica punts off a BMW driver, barrier repairs, safety car for an hour. And then a couple of hours after that, kind of some mediocre running, bit of drizzle. Then it absolutely chucks it down. Fucking 4 hours of safety car. As I'm driving home, it goes green. I hate France.
Let me just say, Chris, the safety car was up for that long. It ran out of fuel. We had to get another.
How many safety cars are there at Le Mans?
Spare safety car.
Yeah, so there's 3 safety cars at Le Mans, right? So they bring them out at sort of roughly equidistant points around the track. They were out for so long that one at a time, the safety cars peeled into the pits. Safety car D, which nobody really knew existed, appeared and took over. And then that safety car refueled and retook its place. And then they swapped the next one and then the next one. Fucking joke. I tell you what, there was some banging commentary, right? So like the World Endurance
no
Championship.
heroin talk this week though.
Yeah, no, it's that. They did keep making reference to it overnight though, which was hilarious. It did keep me
What's that?
entertained. A couple of years ago, some kid wrote in complaining that their parent wouldn't let them have cake at like 2 in the morning. There's only one alternative: heroin.
Yeah.
They kept alluding to it. But right, so this was round 4 of the World Endurance Championships calendar, and now while there are a bunch of entries that only come in for the 24 Hours of Le Mans, obviously there are season-long entries as well. Alpine were special entries for this event. The season, the season consists of a variety of timed races, the shortest of which is 6 hours, but then there's also 12 hours and obviously the 24 hours of Le Mans. Both Alpines failed before the 6-hour mark. And the most savage line from commentary was, if you're gonna enter an endurance race, at least make sure you can make the shortest distance. So, fucking fair point.
Yeah.
I went out at 8 o'clock, I think, and had it on. Obviously, both Alpines were still in the race. By the time I got back at 10, they were both out.
Yeah. They crashed out. Like, one of them like started blowing up mid-lap.
Yeah.
But then like within a lap or two, the other one had like critical alarms come on in the cockpit. So they just pulled it into the pit and retired it.
See, I was watching bits of it when I was at work the next morning because I started at like 5 a.m. There was obviously nothing on the telly at that time. I was like, Le Mans. And I remember just looking at my phone and there was just a car upside down. That did lead to a safety car, but it's like, oh no.
Yeah, it was one of the LMGT3 cars, Aston Martin,
Yeah.
Heart of Aston or whatever it's called.
Yeah, went into the barrier backwards and just flipped.
Yeah, it went in, bounced, and rolled.
Impressive.
So, it was. Do you want to do the big bit of news that I know you're dying to cover, Ben?
Yeah, but I would say something first. The Iron Dames GT3 team,
banging livery, by the
way. There's like the team, all the drivers are women and all, and their whole Twitter media was their admin just going around with stickers, just placing them on other teams.
The Iron Dames do absolutely everything right when it comes to their presence in the paddock and online. Like the livery was apparently designed by like a bunch of school kids, and it was sort of like a collage of stuff, and it just looked great. But yeah, no, they were doing they did really well actually. So
they 4th or 5th.
They were leading at one point, but there was a couple of like incidents and wet track, and everyone had moments. So
there was also, I don't know what the team. I want to say that it was BMW, but I'm not sure. But there was a bold member of a pit crew, and someone had a spray, and a little wifey kept spraying his head and wiping it.
The 4 hours of safety car was just, it basically became pit crews sleeping or pit crews taking the piss.
It's so good.
You'd think they would have heard of the wonderful thing called the red flag.
Yeah, but it's the 24 hours.
But then that would, you just let it go. It was like when Spa was under red flag for fucking 4 hours. But there's a race going on in the background and everyone's just fucking having fun. It's amazing.
The cars are circulating, but there's no actual racing going.
But yeah, Jota Porsche finished 8th and 9th, and Gents was 9th, and they smashed it. What was also quite funny was when the first safety car, I think it was around 10 o'clock when Kubica twatted the BMW into the barrier. And then they were obviously the safety car was out for so long and it was dry. By the time it was the end of the safety car, it was raining and wet, and everyone's on slicks and they weren't allowed to pit. So they're just going around on slick tires, and it's pissed it down.
So the funny bit was, so when there's 3 safety cars are out, you're allowed to pit. But when they then loop them all back up into one safety car line, and at that point the pit lane is closed. You're not allowed to pit. And then they do the wave by, where lapped cars can unlap themselves, or at least get 1 lap back. But because they're all on cold slicks in damp conditions, they couldn't fucking catch up. So normally the wave by takes like a lap, but it was like 4 or 5 laps, and they're like, they still haven't caught the back of the pack yet. It was so brilliant. But yeah, no, it was a good race when it happened.
It's just fun.
I think I slept through half of the racing action.
It is quality background watch. Just keeping an eye on it.
As soon as I got in from work, I loaded it back up on my computer and then promptly fell asleep and then woke up with like an hour to go.
The Ferrari passenger door of the 50 that didn't shut. And then it seems like yanking on the door going down the straight.
Le Mans brilliant for just how like quickly they can disassemble and reassemble their cars. Yeah. I feel sorry for, I think it was the number 77.
Yeah.
The Mustang car, because like they were involved, they had an issue with like their drivetrain, so it spent like 2.5 hours in the pit, and then they came out like 20 laps down, only to get twatted by a fucking LMP2 car and end up back in the pits again.
Yeah, then you had the radio guy. I don't know who's the FIA person. He comes on the radio.
Oh, yeah.
He used to, and then
the race director.
Yeah. He was saying to the Ferrari 50, it's like right hand door, not just right hand.
This is Eduardo Freitas.
He was just so long and he was so tired that he couldn't say passenger side doors open. He says, "I'm right hand open door, open hand."
I do like that we hear all of the communications from the race director to like the general broadcast, and it just comes through on the general broadcast. That's nice, because we get like the safety car, prepare to, and it's like, okay, fine, cool. Safety car procedure, wave by commencing, cool, nice. We know what stage we're at. There's no ambiguity about, is it going to come in this lap? No, it's like, you know, because he's like, safety car will be in this lap, all drivers close up. It's like, sick. And then he's like, car 22, you're falling back, close the gap. It's like, fucking name and shame him on the general broadcast.
Yeah, to be fair, you kind of get that in Formula E when they're like deploying full course yellow, or like their version of the virtual safety car. You'll hear the race director. It's like a full course yellow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, they have the what they dubbed
when
the
they're ending
Lisa
it as well
for that. There's a woman called Lisa who did the voice for it, but it's just like an automated message. So they call it the Lisa bot, and it's like full course yellow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Full course yellow. Full course yellow. And it's like, okay, if it works. So
yeah, because don't WEC as well use like localized VSC
slow zones.
Slow zones.
Yeah. It's like a whole sector, which is hilarious because at Le Mans that's like 4 miles.
Yeah, yeah, because like in sort of local motorsport, almost you get like code 45 and code 60s, which are basically slow zones. It's like in that marshalling sector you can only do 45 or 60 mile an hour depending on what one it is. And I knew they used something like that, which would be interesting in Formula 1. Yet 60 miles an hour, please, through this marshalling sector. But it's good for safety, I suppose.
No, it works well.
it means you don't need to constantly deploy the safety car as well.
Yeah, no, exactly. It was just like, oh, a car's sort of pulled off to the side. We just need to sort of get a tractor out and pick it up. Slow zone, done.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone knows the rules.
It does help on like a big lap like Le Mans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially because they've got such a complicated safety car procedure of deploying the three, merging them back up, and then the wave by and then release. So, and then I think it was like if it's in like the last hour, they just don't bother with the merging and the wave by. They just release all three at the same time or something. Just kind of cool. But yeah.
Anyway,
back-to-back Ferrari wins. One of the Ferrari people knows how to do strategy.
Makes a change.
It does.
But anyway, that is us for this week. And next week we'll be back with the Spain review and the Austria preview.
Is that a sprint?
And then the week after is Silverstone.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it is, because we're in a triple header.
Jesus.
Yep.
Yeah, and Silverstone ends the triple header, so yeah, we're coming up to Silverstone.
It is a sprint at Austria.
I'm gonna miss it.
Oh no.
What, Austria or Silverstone?
Austria.
Austria.
Well, the Austria sprint and qualifying. I'm going to a Green Day concert.
Well. I'm sure you can watch it on demand.
What, the Green Day concert?
Yeah. Fuck Green Day. Formula 1. Obviously more important. But, yeah. Until next week, ta-ra for now.